So everybody's having a tizzy over this Jonathan Majors new role for Daily Wire. All I see is uh, people calling him, the names and whatnot, and he's fell off and all this other stuff. Anyways, I find it odd that when a black person does have a situation in Hollywood, and even his friends aren't really looking out, they distance themselves from him currently, which you can see is happening. Which I get it, you need time to cool off and deal with whatever. However, it brings me to the point of when Lee Daniels gave Terrence Howard the opportunity, which I don't watch the show, but whatever that fruity musical show he had on Fox, people were mad because Terrence Howard had issues, or whatever, and blah blah blah, problems with women and whatnot. But it's like, if you're a black man in a position of power, why would you not use your position of power to help a friend that is talented, but he's kind of like blackballed at the moment? Same thing happened for Nate Parker when he put one of his boys that got arrested with him for that situation that he ended up getting out of jail for and acquitted. Same thing. People were mad. Why did you pick him to help produce the show? Well, again, you're in a position of power. That person also got released because of the situation, and you use your power to help your boy. Whatever. That's not happening apparently for Jonathan Majors right at the moment. So he went over and took a job with Daily Wire. One, yes, I think Ben Shapiro is trash. Daily Wire is garbage. The Warhawk, all that nonsense. I don't like it. However, I did respect people leaving Hollywood and trying to build their own things. And the irony, the ironic thing is, though, people ran away from Hollywood to another, well, you know who, Ben Shapiro, and then they're surprised when he was making people wear masks and trying to force people to get COVID shots and all that, because he was complying with the Hollywood rules for the Writers Guild and all that other stuff, whatever. But yeah, he was trying to make people do all that stuff, just like Hollywood was doing. So it was really no difference. But in principle, I respect the idea of trying to build your own studios, trying to start your own thing, instead of crying about what Hollywood is or isn't doing, and producing your own propaganda. All movies are propaganda. Now, the criticism of this film is that it's over the top. It's anti-Muslim, blah, blah, blah. This shit is no different than True Lies, than the 8 seasons of the best CIA show, equivalent to the CIA version of The Wire is Homeland. That shit was very, very Islamophobic, if you want to say anything. But the show was amazing. The movie with Denzel in the city, I forgot, The Siege, that was a great movie too. Traitor, one of my favorite movies, even though I'm not a fan of Tarantino personally, that's an amazing movie. All these movies did the same thing, same tropes. Now, the wording that Jonathan Major is saying in that classroom, a little bugged out. They're gonna rape our women and take our wombs and this and that. And that, I can see if a person was saying it in Europe, because they have more of that stuff going on over there with the rape stuff, but not here in America. Nah, chill. But yeah, is it a little cartoonish? Do I think that's going to take away from the film going that hard, saying those things? 100%. But I don't think the America versus Islam trope is nothing new. It's been done a billions of times in movies and video games, and they've been done well. I'm not saying this is going to be done well, but they have. Now, I will admit that I just bootlegged, because I'm not giving more money for Ben Shapiro to put under his bed, Run, Hide, Fight. And it's actually not bad, even though the character is a little white girl. She's the hero of the show, and then, you had the little nerdy black dude that was pointless and couldn't do nothing. But still, it wasn't bad. It gave me a Toy Soldier-esque Red Dawn vibe. Bunch of white rejects tried to take over the school and do a mass shooting and blow it up. And the little white girl took bullets and broke legs and still saved the day. Again, besides that point, it wasn't a bad film. It wasn't garbage. I just say, like, as black Americans who are crying about Marvel lack of diversity or getting rid of all their black characters, you should be doing some of the same shit that they're doing. And again, we do have examples of that, whether it's people putting their movies on Tubi or Tyler Perry or whatever. So it's not like we're not doing the things, but we're also doing the things, also complaining that Hollywood ain't looking out for us. But my problem is everybody's trying to trash Jonathan. Like, no, he's an actor. Actors take jobs. You don't have to support the product you do when you take a commercial. You don't. Like, you're an actor. It's a job. You get a check and you move on. I look at this no other way. It's not like he's saying he embodies the character or he believes in the rhetoric of the Daily Wire. When you play a villain, when you play a monster in films, yes, people do tend to take that shit too far and see you as that person in a film. This says that you did a really good job as an actor, and I get that part. But it's really just a fucking job. That's what actors do. They get hired for positions, they get paid, and they produce a product. It's not like people saying he fell off and it's not. Magazine Dreams, which I haven't watched yet, which I do plan to watch. But from all the reviews, it was a great film. He acted his ass off, pun intended. All them Roys and the way he lost. But it just, because of his name is tainted right now, it didn't get the love that it probably should have got. It didn't get the backing of the studios and release that he should have had. But they still put it out, even though they didn't put the advertisement and the money behind it that they should have. But that's just my quick video. I don't have an issue with the man taking a role. Yeah, again, I'm not a fan of Ben Shapiro or the Daily Wire or whatever, but I do like when independent people step away from the bigger structure and try to do their own thing. Even though Ben didn't really step away, he's doing some of the same stuff. That's why Gina Carano left the Daily Wire, because he was trying to make her do mask mandates and get vaccines and all that other stuff, and they weren't any different. And she's a shitty actress rather, and they were gonna give her own first breakout film and supported her and all that. And it was, but I'm kind of glad that didn't happen. But she walked away because he was trying to make her do the same thing Hollywood was trying to make her do. But yeah, what do you expect this man to do? People talking about he should go to the Chicken Circlet, go do a couple Tubi movies, go do a couple Tyler Perry movies, and then try to come back in the good graces. Why you gotta do all that? If he can go to if the white conservatives come out and watch this shit from the rhetoric that it has, and it is good, popular, whatever, and hopefully his pay structure isn't based off just his upfront money. Hopefully he gets some back end money if it does do well. That's not a loss. It's not King the Conqueror money or prestige, but still, I'm just not mad at anybody taking a job for a role for a movie. Like, that's what they fucking do. You don't have to like the director, you don't have to like the script, you don't have to like any of that stuff. You're an actor, you want to work. So here, and it was to say that he's still not gonna go do a Tubi movie or do some Tyler Perry or Lee Daniels stuff, right? It's funny how like that's positioned to be the chicken at the bottom of the barrel, but those men are successful in their fields. Tubi is doing its thing. As much as their movies may suck, they pay their artists a lot better than it would be if you put a movie on Netflix, which is like damn near charging you to put your movie on their service. But that's just my quick video. I don't have a problem with all the managers doing the film. Yeah, I think it's a little bit over top with that rhetoric, though. Again, that's not happening here in America. That's not a thing here. They're going to take it to the wombs of our women, and the whole they're going to use our freedoms against us. Well, that's common. That's what the Bill of Rights and Constitution does. People will be able to get in here and have loopholes because of it. I peeped that when I was a freaking kid in grammar school. I'm like, yeah, that's gonna happen eventually, but it hasn't happened here yet. What's going on in Europe has not happened in America yet. We have a lot more checks and balances to deal with that situation. But yeah, I'll watch it eventually. I'm not paying for it. I'll wait till it's on the movie box, clear, it shouldn't be bootleg, because Daily Wire will be streaming it day one. So I don't think there's nothing wrong with it. The first Run Hide Fight movie was not bad. I don't know about any other Daily Wire stuff or their Disney Princess movie. I heard it didn't do well. But Run Hide Fight was not bad. It gave me a childhood favorite movie of mine was Toy Soldiers, and it just gave me that vibe. Again, I wish they would have toned down that rhetoric and having Jonathan Major say it, and that as a retired vet professor, because it's a little bit too over the top. But it's no different than 8 seasons of Homeland. It's no different than The Siege. No different than 13 Hours and all these other great movies or films that we're going after Islam. All right, I'm out.